All right, following Sunday's sports wagering action, we're coming off a 4-1 day in our 5 premium sports picks on BrockPage.com on Sunday. And that's going to improve our record to 3-0 in our last 3 board member tier package picks on that website. Now, the link for our board member tier package is in the description section below. $1,000 bettors are up over $2,700 during that span. Now, if you're not signed up on my website, or if you have no idea what I'm talking about, I'm going to explain a little bit more about it in just a moment. But before we go ahead and move on, just want to take a quick time out and welcome you to the video. My name is Brock Page, and I do sports picks for free right here on YouTube. I also sell my personal bets on BrockPage.com, and I have packages on that website beginning at just $1.99. Now, the purpose of these YouTube videos is to provide free informational sports betting content and also to generate interest in signing up for a membership on my website. Now, you may be wondering what the difference is between what I do here on YouTube and what I do on my webpage. Well, what I do here on YouTube is I'll handicap the entire slate of games in any given sports side in total. And what I do on my website is I actually share with you which one of these free YouTube picks on my channel that I'm actually betting on personally. And with that, guys, let's go ahead and get into some NHL content. We're going to go ahead and start off with the Wild taking on the Senators, 7 o'clock Eastern puck drop on Tuesday, February 22nd, 2022. And for those who don't know, that's 2/22/22. Might be a good idea to maybe play some of those numbers tomorrow. But anyway, Minnesota's minus 225. Totals at 6. Cam Talbot's expected in net for Minnesota. Matt Murray for Ottawa. Now, Murray's had a pretty rough go of things here this season. He comes into Tuesday's contest with a 5-9 record in his last 14 starts. Now, the Senators also lost 5 out of their last 7. They're allowing 34 shots on goal a game defensively. Meanwhile, offensively on the other end of the ice, the Senators are certainly having issues getting the puck in the net. They're averaging only 2.6 goals per contest this season. Now, Ottawa's taking on a Minnesota team who won 7 out of their last 10. And they've actually done a terrific job on the offensive end of the ice. Minnesota's currently in the top 3 in scoring. They're led by Kirill Kaprizov, who scored 23 times already and has 62 total points. Meanwhile, Matt Zuccarello leads the team in assists with 39 of them. When it comes to head-to-head meetings in this one, Minnesota's gotten the W in 9 out of their last 10 meetings with the Senators. When it comes to the total in this one, Minnesota went 4-0 to the over in their last 4 contests. They're also 6-3 to the over in their last 9 meetings with Ottawa. Meanwhile, the Senators saw overs recently with St. Louis and Carolina. I'm going to lean toward Minnesota minus 1.5 in the over 6 goals. Next matchup, it is going to be Predators versus the Panthers, 7 o'clock Eastern puck drop. Florida's minus 185 with the total at 6.5. Sergei Bobrovsky for Florida, UC Saros for Nashville. And despite some really good production out of Saros, the Preds are on a 4-game losing streak. And they also allowed 18 total goals during that stretch. Now, the Preds are allowing 33 shots on goal a game on the road this year, and they've actually had troubles with Florida in recent meetings. They lost 7 out of their last 10 games against the Panthers. And speaking of Florida, they're actually a staggering 23-3 at the Florida Live Arena. Not many losses for these guys at home. 23-3, that is incredible. Now, Jonathan Huberdeau, he's got a lot to do with that. He's leading the NHL in assists with 53 of them. He's also second in the NHL in points with 70. And when it comes to scoring goals, it's actually Alex Barkov who leads the organization with 23 goals on the year, along with 22 assists. Needless to say, the Panthers are currently leading the NHL in offensive goals per contest and shots. When it comes to the total in this one, Florida's 19-7 to the over on their home ice this year. And that's good for over 73% in that category. Meanwhile, Nashville has gone 18-9 to the over in their contests on the road. I'm going to lean toward Florida -1.5 in the over 6.5 goals. Next contest, it is going to be Blues versus the Flyers, 7 o'clock Eastern puck drop. St. Louis is -180 with the total at 6. Ville Husso for the Blues, Carter Hart possible for the Flyers. Now Hart's gotten the W in just 9 out of 25 starts this season for Philadelphia. The Sixers are winning only 33% of their games at the Wells Fargo Center. And they're also in the bottom 10 in goals allowed per contest. Meanwhile, offensively on the other end of the ice, the Flyers find themselves averaging only 2.6 goals a game. Now they're taking on a St. Louis team who ranks in the top 5 in offensive goals per contest. Tarasenko, Buchnevich, and Kyrou, they all have 18 goals apiece. Meanwhile, defenseman Justin Falk, he's also leading the club as a +31. And speaking of defensive performance, Ville Husso is 12-3 on the season with a 197 goals against average. When it comes to the injury report, Scandella and Perunovich are both still out indefinitely. Meanwhile, for the Flyers on the other side of things, Farabee and Brassard are still out indefinitely for them. And when it comes to the number, the Flyers are 15-9 to the over in South Philly. And that's good for 63% in that category. Now, Philadelphia has also seen 6 out of their last 10 meetings with St. Louis get over the line. So if you're into historical trends, you certainly want to think about that one there. Meanwhile, the Blues on the other side of things, they saw overs recently against Toronto, Ottawa, and New Jersey. I'm going to lean towards St. Louis -1.5 in the over 6 goals. Next matchup, it is going to be Maple Leafs versus the Blue Jackets, 7 o'clock Eastern puck drop. Toronto's -175 with the total at 6.5 goals. Jack Campbell, possible for Toronto. Elvis Merzlikins for Columbus. Elvis has 18 wins thus far in the season, along with a .903 save percentage. Now, the Blue Jackets currently have a winning record at home. They also rank in the top 10 in third period scoring. Boone Jenner scored 21 times this year and has 39 points. Meanwhile, Patrick Laine has 16 goals and 17 assists. Now they're taking on a Toronto team who lost 3 out of their last 5. And they gave up 17 goals during that stretch. And when it comes to covering the number, covering the 1.5, the Leafs are actually cashing in on the puck line in just 45% of their road games. Now, one more thing to add here about Toronto. The Leafs are actually going to be in the second of a back-to-back for this contest. So you may see fatigue a factor. You maybe also see some late-minute scratches. Now, injury-wise, Lyubushkin is still out for the Leafs. Robinson and Texier are still out for the Blue Jackets. When it comes to the total in this one, Columbus is 18-6 to the over as the official home team. The Blue Jackets are also 71% to the over for the entire season. Meanwhile, Toronto's 14-10 to the over in their travels this year themselves. I'm going to lean toward Columbus +1.5 in the over 6.5 goals. Next matchup, it is going to be Islanders versus the Kraken, 10 o'clock Eastern start time. New York's -155 with the total at 5.5. Ilya Sorokin for New York. Chris Driedger possible, but not confirmed yet for Seattle, as the Kraken's in the second of a back-to-back in that game. And although Driedger's been pretty bad this season, no matter who they have in the net, they're probably going to get, the proper support from their defensemen this game, because the Kraken's currently leading the entire NHL in defensive shots on goal, doing a really good job of just limiting their opponent's shots per game. Now, scoring-wise, Seattle's currently in the top 10 in the league in third-period goals at home. Jared McCann has scored 20 times already and has 32 total points. Meanwhile, Alex Wenberg leads the club in assists with 19 of them. Now, they're taking on an Islanders team who lost 7 out of their last 10. And they're actually winning only 38% of their road games. Now, offensively, when it comes to the scoring in this one, the Isles are averaging only 2.4 goals per contest. They're actually amongst the worst offensive teams in the NHL. As a matter of fact, these guys score fewer goals on the road than any other team in hockey. Now, total-wise, 3 out of New York's last 4 road games got over the posted number. Meanwhile, the Kraken's gone 3-0 to the over in their last 3 at home. I'm going to lean towards Seattle plus 1.5 and the over 5.5 goals. And with that, guys, we're going to jump into our next and final matchup of the show. It is going to be Sharks versus the Ducks, and that's going to be a 10 o'clock Eastern start time. Anaheim's minus 135 with the total at 5.5. John Gibson for the Ducks, James Reimer for San Jose. Despite some pretty good outings this season for Reimer, the ice-cold Sharks have lost their last 6 straight, and they also went just 1-8 straight up in their last 9. Now, scoring-wise, it's been a bit of an issue for San Jose. Once again, offensive production, not great for the Sharks. They're actually in the bottom 10 in offensive goals per contest. And they're averaging only 28 shots a game on the road, so really not even giving themselves ample opportunities to score. Now, they're taking on an Anaheim team who's been very tough to score on at home. These guys are actually in the top 10 in fewest home goals allowed. They've got Johnny Gibson in the net for him. Gibby's been pretty good this year. He's got 16 victories under his belt in the net, 277 goals against average, 913 save percentage. And defenseman Hampus Lindholm, he's a +5 when he's on a shift. Now, injury-wise, Getzlaf is questionable for the Ducks. Meanwhile, for San Jose on the other side of things, Carlson and Hill are still out indefinitely for them. When it comes to the total in this one, Anaheim saw unders recently against Detroit, Ottawa, and Tampa Bay. Meanwhile, San Jose saw 67% of their road games fall under the line themselves. I'm going to lean toward Anaheim minus 135 and the under 5.5. And with that, guys, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on BrockPage.com. Now, if you guys do end up getting a membership here today on my website, just keep in mind, you're going to get billed the day you sign up and then the first of every month following that. So if you do end up getting a membership here today on BrockPage.com, you're actually going to get access to those picks all the way through the end of February. I always tell folks in every single video, the earlier in the month you sign up, the better. And guys, if you want to get access to every single pick that I give out on that website, you're going to want to think about signing up for my board member package. It's an all-inclusive membership, so not only are you going to get access to the board member tier pick itself, you're actually going to get access to every single package that I offer on that website. Like I said, it's an all-inclusive membership. But most importantly, guys, got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. With that said, guys, happy Monday or Tuesday to you, depending on when you're watching this. Best of luck to you, and I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at BrockPage.com.